both players a single digit Q. Oh, is there chat? I didn't see if there's chat or not.
Doesn't look like.
Okay. All right. Oh, I hope you're studying this if you play in it. Oh, fancy. Oh.
Yeah, Jaden is one of my students. And he's being experimental lately.
Okay. This I have a rule for my students on this. If you are not going to play basics, you better be doing your research. That's what I tell my students. Of like, if you are not researching this, I do not like it. It is bad unless you are doing your due diligence. Okay, if you are ignoring the basics, not responding to josekis, to approaches, you're not playing like the open sides or whatever, you're being fancy like this. You're not playing the normal basic shapes. You can only do that with proper research. So you have to be looking this stuff up if you're going to play it. Like wall theory, pro games, pro database. Is that joseki? I don't think that's joseki, right?
Yeah, I think he.
Yeah. So at 5Q, we have to know josekis. Like, I don't want to say this isn't joseki because I'm still learning all the AI stuff, but pretty sure this is the move. But if it's not just, if it is joseki, then ignore what I'm about to say, I guess. But if it's not, then at 5Q, we have to know josekis. We have to. We're too strong to not know them. Okay, I'm pretty sure. So this one trips me up because in Korea I learned this one was bad. It's always this one. But then the AI came around and said this one's maybe okay, so I'm really confused. The idea behind this double approach is attach on the side that you want, and then when they 3-3, you cut and you get the directional play that you wanted, and that was the idea. But that was in like 2014. So I don't know if it's changed, but I still have it like updated because as far as I know, this is an empty triangle and considered good for white because white can reduce it. So this is what's considered bad shape for black. But I think the AI says different. I'm not sure. Just research with the AI because I'm still like learning all modern just like I don't know if this is the right one though. Because boom, 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 boom. That looks like very bad shape for black.
Well, that's what I thought. Black's trying to build up that right side there. So
yeah. So why not just play on the side then?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He should have just played that way.
That's a lot easier. And if white Hane's first, it doesn't really matter. And you just do that. That's fine. I think the right side is not where I want to be because technically the right side's supposed to be settled on the third line. But there's actually weakness. So there's a lot of problems in black's position. So I think maybe black needs to work on josekis. I think black's playing too complex for his own good. I think maybe this is just trying to do too much, being too active instead of just playing basics. Like, let's compare that result with the cutting point and stuff and the right side. What if we just played normal? Okay, so white approached, and let's just play normal. Boom. And then we want, let's say, right side direction. Actually, we have a moyo, so we can just do this even that, right? Yeah. Well, let's say we really wanted the right side. Okay. We do that, and then we go to the bottom side because that's the next direction to play. And now we maybe make it a territorial type game because we have a Shamari. Maybe why not territory, right? And that just feels a lot simpler.
Why would you approach that on O3 instead of R6? I feel like R6 is a regular extension from your.
Right. So this has to do with if you think so like I said, this is the joseki looks better, but maybe if you really wanted the right side, you would go this way. But if you wanted to extend from this position, and you say it needs more defense, it just depends on if you think this needs more stones or not. Maybe you think it needs defense. Okay, so play here. That's fine. But I was thinking big move, so I'm trying to like treat this as settled. And if it's settled, then is the right side the biggest position to build, or is the bottom side the biggest position to build? Well, the bottom side's an open side, and the right side's not, because I already have an extension. So I'm just playing on the bottom for that reason. But if you thought there was a weakness here, like maybe play stronger than me, say this needs another move, then just play another move for defense. But if it's not defense, then it shouldn't be the biggest. It should be, bottom side should be bigger than the right side. Big move.
It's hard to evaluate that for me.
Yeah, it's too difficult for me too. The reason I was just approaching is because I'm like, okay, finishes Joseki and then go play another open side. But if you think it needs another move, then just play another move. It's fine. But that's understanding Joseki. But it's also why I would pick this Joseki. Like if you visualize in your head and you're like, oh hey, I'm not going to be on the big move, then play in the way that gives you the big move, right? It just picks the Joseki for the board. But maybe I don't think I'm strong enough to technically answer if you should defend there or not. I was just clarifying why I chose not to. Like, if you want to defend, you defend. If you don't, you play big side, and that's technically how it should be going. If you have to defend or not is not something I can answer because I just don't know. But so far, I actually really like. I like White's position a bit better because this is very easy to reduce. There's a reduction here, and White has Sente. So I think maybe White is missing a move here. I don't like this push as much. I think maybe White isn't, this corner isn't finished. But other than that, I think Black has 2 problems. White has 1. So White should be slightly better. Here. If you want to play on the bottom by pressuring this is the move. Maximum pressure. Otherwise, play here. All the pressure or none of the pressure. But this one, if I pincer you, which take your basics, if I pincer you, then you have less pressure on me. So you got to be careful about that.
Yeah, that sounds like you're there.
Yeah, Knight's moves are cuttable. This is not a good shape for defense. If you're trying to put pressure, it'd be like this. And you can see the connection looks a lot better. So any sort of ladder breaker is almost Sente. Like anything like that, you never know when that'll activate. So you have to be very careful with that. Then you also have this. This is almost Sente, so it's not ideal. Okay. This is pushing diagonals. Same thing I said earlier. I think Black's aiming at the I shape though. I still don't like it. Oh, I thought Black was going here.
No, yeah. I shape.
Yeah, this is how you take the I shape, but even still, you're helping White surround you. You're hurting the outside liberties. I just don't like it. It's Ajikeshi. Just like this is the way to do that if you want to do it. You don't have to push that diagonal. But even then, Black played here, and that stone just did not help in any way. So I really don't like that push diagonal. And we're losing liberties right now, and I feel like we're not. Okay, so what do we want to do here as Black? I definitely like White's position better. So because there's cutting points, there's a weak group. I have a weak group too, but I'm running while attacking. So as Black, what do you want to do? I have a weak group, so I want to play defense. Okay, defense. Run away while staying connected. So here. Well, guess what? This also pressures White while running away. I mean, that feels pretty nice. Maybe even cap. This is a little bit Sabaki. So if I cut, boom, 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 boom. That's not right. That's not right either. That looks pretty good. So cap is a little bit of sabaki to get out. But I wouldn't hurt myself. I wouldn't force my opponent to have more stones in Gote because this is pretty much activated. Defense. If we kettle a defense. Okay. Okay, so this goes into a ladder, which goes right here. So anything in this area is Sente. And there's 2 weak groups. There's a million problems on black side. I don't see how black could possibly win this bottom half of the board. Because there's a weak group. There's a weak group at A. There's a weak group at B. And while B is running, the C cut will activate. So it's too many problems, too many headaches. Just play defense. Defend. Run away. 1 weak group at a time. 1 weak group at a time. Yep. I think white should try to activate the cut like this. This seems a lot more effective. So it activates the cut. But when black defends, you get Atari. So I think that's a lot more effective. Okay. Oh, go and make another weak group. Oh, this is very brave. So pincer. And I don't know what black's gonna do. Okay. I wouldn't leave. Like punish. Maybe peep and then here. Like black has questions that need answers. So you need to like poke black, like pressure black and be like, hey, show me your life or you're or you're gonna die. So this is just a big move. This is too normal. I feel like this is exactly what black wants. Is if you never attack, then black is everywhere and you're just not getting it around the board fast enough. The problem with black's position is black is getting around the board really, really fast, but a little bit too fast. So it's good to get around the board quickly and to Tanuki a lot, but it's not good to leave so much weakness behind. But on the flip side, if you do it, if you let your opponent move around the board too much and never punish them, then it's going to be more effective. They're going to have more. So you have to punish, otherwise, yeah. So, running here would be better. That way you do a double attack while you run. This does not help your weak group. This actually hurts your weak group because when I run, I attack you. The left side was already alive, so you're trying to unsettle while also threatening to. Okay, that one's fine. Okay. This is actually a case where I would push the diagonal to fix my cutting point and then run away. This is the exact same thing that I was just talking that black was doing too much. You ignored a weak group. What if I just kill you? So I would say this one, the big lessons are don't Tanuki weak groups. And if your opponent does Tanuki weak groups, punish them. Attack them. Be severe. Just connect. There's a connection right here.
Yeah, I think that later.
This is Sente, and that's a lot of points. So I can just do that, and then I think black just wins. I think, yeah, because white just doesn't have enough territory. That is okay if we are not weak right here, but are we weak right here? I don't know. So with that in mind, Is that Sente? Don't know, right? Questions. You got to be careful. You got to ask yourself these questions. You got to be very careful about stuff like that. Okay. Okay, so now I guess we're assuming everything's alive and these three have just been sacrificed, even though I really disagree with the spot upside being ignored so much. But this is supposed to be a big move. Is this the big move? Maybe. I almost want to stay where... Okay, so let's say I wanted to build the center. So this center is big enough that probably you want to do something in it. How would you build it? Or how would I build this? Probably I want to build a bowl, so try to find the forcing moves first. So maybe like here, here. Find the forcing moves first, and then find all the forcing moves, and then build the other side in Gote. So maybe do all that first. That way you get something. Get your forcing moves first, and then do that. But that would really murder your own group. Yeah, the problem with building in Gote is if you build it in Gote, then he just reduces it and everything becomes Dame. White played first in the center, but black center's bigger. So that's a problem. Don't push diagonals. It's very, very bad. Like, what if I want to do this? You never know. This might be relevant sometime. Yep. Okay, so we're in Yosei. So Sente Yosei. Oh, we're not in Yosei. Oh, hold on. We need to decide if we're in Yosei. If we're in Yosei, do your second line Sente first. Okay, second line Sente, second line Sente. Okay, then first line Sente. First line Sente. Push the border in Sente. And then a big move. So maybe here or here. Just take all your Sente first. If we're in Yosei. Okay, so we're in Yosei. So Sente, 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 Sente. Okay, that's a big move in Gote. Yeah, so the lesson for Yosei is just Sente. Take your Sente first. And stop pushing diagonals. So that's potentially points in the future, but now probably not. So you lost a couple points. Does that work? If I just cut. Are we reading the cuts or are we assuming they work? So the problem is, or this is the question, right? But I don't see a problem. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong. So I think both players just assumed that worked. That is big. This is bigger. Because that one's Sente. And that is Gote. Sente is greater than Gote. Okay, but okay. Yeah, fight for Sente more in Yosei. And stop pushing diagonals. Small. There we go. There's a big one. Okay, in this game, Sente and Yosei, weak groups are super important. Not just defending them, but also punishing them. Like on both sides, it's important. Like you need to protect yours, and you need to punish your opponent when they ignore theirs. Like it's super important. It's attack and defense, and it's hard to win without attack and defense. I think the opening, black is a little bit too fancy. Maybe simplify your opening and learn your Joseigis. I think white was doing pretty good until white never attacked. So white's middle game's, I think, a little bit too passive. You know, punch them in the face if they ignore. Okay. They come into your house and you need to like beat them with a bat. Don't let them just walk around and take all your stuff and walk out. So don't be so nice. It's your house.